Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to do a get ready with me for my PR event at the MSU HRTC. First order of business, we're going to tone the face. I just use a generic store brand toner on a paper towel and I rub it or pat it all over my face. Toner is supposed to help remove excess oil, so while I apply this to my face, I pay extra attention to my T-zone, which is where I build up the most oil. So step 2 is priming the face for foundation. I use the Benefit Cosmetics Pore Professional Primer. I put a pea-sized amount on my finger and rub it all over my face, including my neck, because I'm going to blend a little bit of foundation onto my neck as well. So next up is foundation. I use the number 7 Beautifully Matte Foundation in Warm Beige. You can find this foundation at Target or Walgreens, which where I got it, Ulta, stores like that. It's just a cheap drugstore brand, but it works really well and I think it looks great on my skin. I have typically pretty oily skin and it does a really good job of keeping that oil under control. So what I did here is I put one pump onto my finger and then I dotted it all over half of my face, and now I'm going to blend it out using a damp beauty blender. I am now going to repeat for the other side of my face, my forehead, and my neck. So instead of using a beauty blender, lately I've tended to use a brush in circular motions on my neck to blend the foundation on my neck. I'm not sure why I do that, but that's what I've been doing, so that is what I'm showing you here. Now we're going to go into concealer. I am using the Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer in vanilla. I got this because Sephora was out of Shape Tape, and this is actually surprisingly really similar. So we are going to put this on our under eyes, the bridge of our nose, the chin, the cupid's bow, and the forehead, as well as underneath where I contour. So I mostly use this concealer as a highlight. If you want to do this, I would recommend getting a shade or two lighter than your foundation. But if you want to use it as regular concealer, it works really well for that too, because it is definitely a full coverage concealer. Now we are going to go back in with our beauty blender and blend everything out. So now I'm going to go in and contour. I use the Too Faced Cocoa Contour Palette. The shade I use is Dark Cocoa, and I'm going to use this underneath my cheekbones and kind of sweep it up towards my temples to start off with. So now I'm going to start applying that same shade, Dark Cocoa, to my forehead. So now just for a little extra definition, I'm going to use White Cocoa underneath that contour color. And so for my nose, I'm going to take a fan brush onto Dark Cocoa and kind of just apply it to my nose. And then I'm going to take White Cocoa and blend it out with the fluffier brush. So now I'm going to move in with the blush. I use the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in Dazzled, and then I'm going to use the same brush I used with the contour and just kind of sweep it onto my cheekbones. And then we are going to go in with the highlighter. I use the Becca highlighter in Moonstone with a sculpting brush and kind of just place it over the blush. Give myself a little highlight, and then I am also going to put that on my nose and Cupid's bow as well, because I like to be a little sparkly. We're gonna go in and do the brows. I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the color dark brown, and this is a nice pencil because it's got the spoolie and the pencil end. So I'm gonna take the spoolie and kind of just shape my brows how I want them. And then I'm gonna just fill in with the pencil mostly. I don't do a lot of sculpting with my brows because I like the shape of them. The only sculpting I really do is on the arch because I don't really have an arch, I guess. I don't really grow hair there. I don't know why. But yeah, so I mostly keep the natural shape of my brow other than that little arch piece that I'm drawing in right now. And yeah, I just use this to darken and fill. Now I'm just going to take that spoolie end, brush my brows out a little just to blend and move the color around and make sure it's even, and then I will go in again with the pencil just to refill and make sure everything is where I want it to be. So now I just want to clean up my brows a little, so I'm going to use a concealer brush with my concealer and just kind of reshape those brows, sharpen up the ends a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to set my brows using the Mally Beauty Brow Defining Gel. And I'm just gonna kind of brush over the brows I just filled in, and this is gonna make sure that they stay in place all day. Now it's time for the eyes. I'm gonna start out with the Smashbox 24-Hour Eye Primer. So we are going to go in with the Morphe Nature Glow palette, and the first color I'm going to use is this tannish color that's in the top row. It's like 5th or 6th down, and that's going to be my transition color that I will apply with a fluffy brush. So while we wait for me to apply this onto my face, I just want to say how much I love this palette. It's got so many pretty matte and shimmer shades. They're natural and look really good with my eyes. And it's just beautiful. You get like 30 to 35 shades for 30 bucks. And I found it at Ulta, and I just can't say enough good about this palette. It's so great. So now I'm going to go in with a slightly less fluffy brush on a shade that is just slightly darker than the one we just used. And this is going to be my first crease color. It's like the transition to my transition shade, I guess. And it just helps deepen my crease a little bit and creates, or starts to create, the smoky effect on my eye. we're going to go in with another similar shade. This one is just a little more red and again a little darker, and I'm going to use this on a longer bristled pencil type brush and put that into my crease, and again blending it into the other shades to make a nice smoky effect. This one I'm also going to put on the outer corner of my eye just a little bit and sweeping it towards the inside because I want the smoky effect not only in my crease but also on my lid. Now we're going to go back in with the first brush and the first shade and just kind of blend out all the darker colors again. We want the transitions between shades to be really smooth and look really smoky and pretty. So now I'm going to use an actual pencil brush on a more red brown shade that you see towards the bottom, and this one is gonna be on my crease and my outer corner, but it's mostly gonna be focused on my outer crease, and kind of swept towards the inside, I don't know, and blended out again because we want to really smoke everything out here, but this is definitely focused more on the outer portion of my eye. And then we are going to blend some more. Always, always, always blend so the lines aren't too harsh and so everything looks really smoky and nice. So now we're going to use an even smaller pencil brush, and we are going to use a darker, it's kind of a reddish shade, but it's mostly dark brown meets red, I don't know. It's a really dark color regardless, and this I'm going to focus definitely on the outer corner of my eye. It's going to be the darkest point on my face, and it is going to kind of frame my eye a little bit, and then I blend a lot. And then for the under eye, we kind of took that third color, so the tannish reddish brown, and then I'm putting it with a flat brush on my entire bottom lash line, and then we're going to follow again with the really dark color that we used last, and then I'm going to focus that again on the outer corner of my eye just to give a little shape and definition there. And now I'm going to just take one of my brushes and kind of blend out the bottom lash line and make it a little more smoky. So now I'm going to take a flat brush onto the white and kind of sweep it onto the inner 3/4 of my eyelid, and then I'm going to take like a little light tan color mixed with a red and put it in the very center of my eyelid just to kind of transition from that white to the dark a little more smoothly. So now I'm going to take my Too Faced glitter glue primer, just a little tiny bit, and then I'm going to pat it on where I put the white color on my lid because we are going to add some sparkle, and I put a little tiny bit on the inner corner of my eye as well because we're going to add a pop of white there. So now I'm going to use the Urban Decay just little eyeshadow thing in Space Cowboy. That's my absolute favorite eyeshadow in the whole world. It's so shimmery and pretty, and so that is going where the white was. And then for my inner corner, we're going to go back to the Morphe palette and take both that first white matte shade, and then we're also going to take that really light, pretty, sparkly shade as well, and that's going to go in the inner corner. Just kind of dab it in there. Now we're just going to use that matte white as a brow bone highlight. So I'm using the Wet n Wild Mega Liner in black for my eyeliner, and we are just going to do a thin line on the top to start out with, and then after that we are going to do a small wing. So to do that wing, you just do a little kick out with one line, and then you're going to connect the two lines together and fill in the space. So you couldn't see a dang thing with my other eye, so I just kind of deleted all the footage from that. But hopefully you can see more of this eye, except here, because I am more focused on getting my eyeliner to look good than my camera. So sorry, we're just gonna skip the rest of this. So because my eyeliner was just slightly uneven, we're gonna go in with a concealer brush and my concealer, just like I did with the eyebrows, just to kind of reshape and sharpen the wings. So for mascara, I am going to be using the Better Than Sex mascara by Too Faced. It is my absolute favorite mascara, and you just apply it like any other regular mascara. And I do top and bottom lash and give at least 2 coats to both. Part of the reason why I love this mascara is because it doesn't look too spidery even after a couple coats. It still looks soft and pretty, and I absolutely love it. So for my lips, I'm going to start out with some chapstick to moisturize those puppies. You always, always, always want to moisturize your lips before putting on lipstick. It will make your lips happy, and you will look a lot better. And for the lipstick, I am trying to show you that I am using the All Day Rosewood. I believe this is a Clinique lipstick. Maybe it's Estee Lauder, one of the two. I don't know. But it is my favorite lipstick ever, because it's a really pretty natural red color if you just kind of pat it. I don't usually sweep it on there just because there's a fine line between gaudy red and natural flush. And so for the setting spray, I use the Urban Decay Rebound Setting Spray. Make sure you give it a good shake. Hold it 8 to 10 inches away from your face and give yourself a nice little mist. Oh yes, there we go. Looking good. And this is the final look. I hope you enjoyed it. I think it's very pretty. I use it as an everyday look as well as a glam look. I don't know, it's really fitting for everything. And so now we are going to add the earrings, because every horse event you go to, whether it be a PR, which is what I'm doing, or a show or whatever, you always need earrings. So mine are these little teardrop shaped ones I got from my cousin for her wedding. We all wore them, and they're super pretty, and I haven't really taken them off since. I just have a struggle putting them in. And then we are going to let that hair flow, man. Oh yeah, I got some big hair going on. Now that the makeup's done, I gotta put on my outfit, so here we go. So this is the finished look, and it is time for me to go horse around at the MSU HRTC. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I post videos weekly. See ya!